How many words are in a 30-second radio commercial? Well, it's really not a mystery. It's really pretty simple to find out, and we'll cover that next. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you a great way to write your radio commercials to avoid a ton of editing. Plus, you'll know how to adjust your commercials depending on the subject of the commercial. And you'll learn how to make your scripts fit exactly to the time that you need. And, are you ready for this? As an added bonus, I'll tell you how many words are in a 60. And it's not double a 30 either. Let's dive in. So how many words are in a 30-second radio commercial? The simple answer is about 80 to 85 words. Now let's figure out how we got there. Roughly speaking, you're talking about 3 words per second. So if you want to know how many is in a 30-second commercial, 3 words per second, 30-second commercial, about 90 words. But I can tell you right off the bat that for most people, and for the listening ear especially, you're going to want to slow that down just a little bit into about the 80 to 85 range. Now, I am closer to 3 words per second. I do speak a little bit faster, and I do know some people who can barely get 2 words per second, so that would only be about a 60-word commercial. So if you're doing a lot of radio advertising, this is a really simple calculation to see how long your radio commercial is going to be. Now, you can also do this with, say, Microsoft Word or even Google Docs. They have a word count feature in Google Docs. On Word, as a matter of fact, it's really easy. You just literally click and drag across the script, highlight the script, and if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a very tiny, tiny number right along the edge there. And it will say something like, let's say if you've got a lot more typing on the page, if you've got like a header that's got stuff written in it, and what station, and the name of the advertiser, and the title of the commercial, and all that extra stuff, and you've only highlighted the script itself, it'll say something like 88/135. 135 is how many words are on the page itself, and it covers everything. The smaller number, the 85, would be just what you've highlighted. So when you look in that lower left-hand corner and you'll see that small number, and plus do the quick little calculation, divide by 3 in your head, you'll be able to see if you're within that, you'll know if you're within that 80 to 85 word count range for a 30-second commercial. Now, if you see yourself getting into a bunch of radio commercials and stuff like this, if you're gonna be writing a lot or producing a lot or voicing a lot, be sure to like or subscribe to the channel, because we cover radio commercials, we cover YouTube, we cover podcasts and blogging, anything that can possibly promote your business in a very economical and efficient way. That's what we're all about here, and teaching you how to do it. So be sure to like and subscribe, and you won't miss a single episode. You can also fudge that word count and the length depending on what you're advertising. For example, car dealers. Car dealers are known for shouting and screaming and all kinds of hype and excitement and really spitting out a whole bunch of words. So if the average is 80 to 85, you could probably take a car dealer ad up to 100. Maybe 110 if you have the right talent that can speak that quickly to be sure to cover all those words. If you've got a voiceover talent in mind and they can't speak like that, you better not write that. It'd be that simple. And then on the other side of the coin, say if you're talking about a funeral home. For a funeral home, something slow and compassionate and very emotional or something like that, you can back it down to about 60 or 65 and get your message across at a much slower pace. So off the bat, you can tell, do I need to go faster? Do I need to go slower? Does this fit the nature of the commercial itself? I don't think you want a screaming, shouting ad for a funeral home, right? You don't need the car dealer style ad for a funeral home, right? So it makes you wonder, if the car dealer ads were so effective, how come the funeral home isn't using them? Yeah. So give that a little pause for thought. If you have some more information, if this is going to be a really upbeat, energetic ad, if it's going to be a family fun night that's going to be a great time downtown and along the Riverwalk and have a bunch of stuff for the kids and the family and concerts and outdoor activities, then a little faster delivery to get you in the 100 to 110 range is perfectly acceptable. Use that as kind of a guide so you can back it down, speed it up, make sure you're within 30, make sure you're within 60. Oh, and I promised you I would give you the 60 word count as an added bonus, didn't I? Well, if we're at 80 to 85 words for a 30, a 60 could easily be 170, 175, maybe 180 at the most. Again, the 180 would be kind of a quick pace. I would back it down to 170. You'll notice it's not quite double a 30. It's actually more than double of a 30, but you've got that extra real estate and somehow it works out very nicely. Now, there are times when you'll have the word a lot, the two words a lot. That actually takes up much less than the 1 second for 3 words. And then, of course, you can have the word temperature. That's one word that takes up more than the 1 second. So it also kind of depends, and hopefully your program will at least get you in the ballpark, and then you'll be there for the final tweak. Now, how do you tell? How do you really know if you are in the ballpark? If you got this right, is this the right word count? Very simply, the foolproof way that is 100% accurate every single time is a stopwatch and read it out loud. That's the best way to determine if you've written your ad correctly. Now, there's so many people who will actually read and they'll sit there and they'll go, oh yeah, it fits. No, that's not how you do it. You literally have to read it out loud. Now, if you're the person writing all the commercials, everybody in the radio station will know. Don't worry about it. They know you're a little weird to begin with. Just go ahead and read it out loud. Feel free to yell it like a car dealer if it's a car dealer ad. Feel free to be really somber if it's a funeral home ad. They understand what's going on. But if you're doing this at home, or if you're doing this at the office or something like that, and you're a different company that is making a radio ad, well, then it might sound a little weird. Get over it. The best way to time it is with a stopwatch, and you probably have one on your smartphone, a stopwatch, and reading it out loud at the right pace. And you'll be able to tell, is this going to be rushed? Is this going to be too slow? Can I add some? Do I need to cut some? 9 times out of 10, you probably need to cut it. I'm just saying. Some other ones to keep in mind. Remember, if you have a 15-second ad, that's going to be about 45 words. A 10-second ad, right around 30, maybe a little less. But other than that, you should be set to go. Use the word count feature in the program that you're using to type it with. And of course, be sure to read it out loud with a stopwatch. Then you'll have a much better idea of exactly how long that commercial is. Now, I do have something for you that'll help you in your writing process. It's my radio commercial checklist. You start with this checklist to focus your attention and make sure that you have a concise, clear commercial for whatever it is you're talking about. I've got that down below. There's a link in the description. Click on it right now and get your free copy. I'm Nic Natarella with AdWise Creative. Thank you for watching.